gaming bets. Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGD.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this time I've actually unmuted my microphone. We are going to be going gradually back into our second match of the day, or second map, I should say, as it is going to be Heroic versus GODSENT on, of course, Overpass. Now, obviously, going into this one, actually quite interested to see how these two teams match up, because comparatively on this map, we haven't seen too much. Obviously, we know that Heroic have been doing very well on this map recently, but GODSENT, historically, this has been another very good map for them, so definitely looking forward to seeing if they are going to be able to pull this one off, and if they are going to be as good as they were on the first map. Now, obviously, we saw a few sketchy rounds, a few, like, interesting rounds at least, but whether or not they're actually going to be able to pull off the same sort of thing, that's something else altogether. Now, I wonder if Harry's actually come back. I know that he popped to get a drink, so I may just, yeah, I'll just carry on talking. He's back.
No. I actually spoke, but my mic was still muted. That was terrible. I did a U, but just on my end. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I mean, we saw the first map go 16-13 in favor of GODSENT. This one going to be interesting, like you said. Knife round going to be underway, but no one ever speaks about them. So in the meantime, I think we're just going to say hello to the guys in chat, just to give you guys a little bit of a thank you for tuning on in. And it's not very often that you hear casters say your names, so why the hell not? Me and Tom may as well take this opportunity to
say my name.
Yeah. So we got Predator, Sir Kappa GG, Smithing, Rob STR, Old Dudes
Are we
CS.
Aussies? No.
We are not Aussies. Very much not so.
No.
Although I could very easily be Australian. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how closely related the two countries are.
I'm not going to do this because I don't want to get banned from Twitch. Like, my accents are terrible. Probably end up sounding scouse.
Very, very true. But yeah, we got Old Boy Boo, WikiLeaks. Oh my god, everyone just starts typing the second. MP5, the almighty internet. What a name! We literally have the internet in chat, guys. Everyone say hi to him. Thank you, by the way, for employing me and Tom indirectly.
Yeah, no, I need your service.
I can't believe it, guys. We actually have the internet in here. We'll kill one.
Canada. You're green.
Hey, Canada. Deracket. Muckpods.
Nupoda's back.
The Ghost Rider 777. I mean, the game isn't live yet, right? No, okay, it's not. I'm just making sure. All right, then. You keep an eye on that. Shavery, grunt sniping. Can't say your name. Oh, Anthony. Oh God, there's too many people. Hello, Caster. How are you? From Emat Shellpool. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Tom's doing good as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Tom had a roast.
It's now going to start. I did actually. Yeah. So I'm very.
So he's in a good mood. But yeah, anyway, heading into this, I just want to have a mouthful of pasta for my dinner. That was good. But yeah, Heroic. I'm a student, by the way. Woohoo! Heroic versus GODSENT. Map number 2. We already saw GODSENT pick up the first 16-13 in favor of the Swedes. A very close game nonetheless, and ultimately came down to the economy in those last couple of rounds. This time, though, then we've seen GODSENT kicking things off over on the T side. And while Lecro's going to make his way up towards top mid, all on his own. He's very lonely, and oh my god, Heroic are just circling him like moths to a flame. Lecro's about to discover this, peeks out wide. Nico's going to be tagged down a little bit, but the rest of GODSENT should be able to grab this B site relatively for free. I mean, really, you've only got Snappy watching it. Lecro's making quick work of this. What's going on? Valby and Nico both go down. Yuki has to try and trade things out. Oh no, he's on 3! Somebody stop this man, and it might be Money to do exactly that as he comes in on the flank. I don't think Lecro's going to see this coming, but he does hear the footsteps. Lecro could potentially get a 4th, but Money doesn't like he's going to give it to him. Instead, just movement of a god. Turns into a 2-on-3. But now Snappy and Money have a lot left to try and accomplish here in this retake.
Yeah, no, this is sort of ridiculous because the bomb goes down. The battle on the site means absolutely nothing, as it's just Lecro fighting on his own all the way over the other side of the map versus 4 of the players. Absolute madness of a first round. And I genuinely don't know what just happened. That should have been just an easy crossfire kill. They walk in, let Crow goodbye, see you later, buddy. Now we'll go rotate. Instead, he held. Not only did he take 3 with him, which is great, he held the 4th player there for another 20 or 30 seconds. There was no way they were ever winning that round. Absolute madness. And, well, now we are going to see the force-up. Snappy has himself a trusty UMP. We got a couple of SMGs, but a relatively safe buy actually coming out from GODSENT. Not going to invest... Well, not going to invest fully in SMGs, which we've actually seen. I think it was Envy were doing every single time. And, well, that was a little bit more interesting. They did win the majority of them, though, to be fair. Pronax to start. Will be getting himself that first kill. Decent position, though, from Snappy. Gets one. Looking for a second, but the snap is there as Disco takes him out.
Yeah, he outsnapped Snappy, which is an achievement in and of itself. Meanwhile, Schneider and Doppler going to be pushing in over towards short, and Marty's going to find himself on the opposing end of Schneider's AK, which is never where you want to end up. Down he goes, and all of a sudden it's Valdi and Yugi 2v4. Valdi up towards toilets, going to be trying to come on in. Not really used to hanging around toilets from what I hear, and down he goes. You can see that that's going to be the case. It's all on Yugi. 1v4. Does have a deagle at least to try and make some magic happen with. You never ever want to count out a Dane with a deagle. It's a dangerous mix. And, well, the alliteration there, just too strong. As Yugi actually going to be trying to hold heaven with this pocket AWP rotating down now. It's a 1v4, but he can look to wreak some havoc at least with the high-powered hand cannon that is the deagle. Bomb's going to go down. And while this round should very easily go the way of GODSENT, you can't count out Yugi just yet. He's looking to try and do damage. And do damage he might just do.
I think he was spotted, though. Yeah, Twister spotted him. Not going to get away with anything in this sort of round. And well, now, it is going to be GODSENT getting their second, importantly. They don't want to lose any of those sort of anti-eco rounds. Won't be much investment. Obviously, we know that Yugi's already saving up his money to get himself that AWP. And obviously, in this sort of map, I'm actually very excited to see the different players actually picking this one up. Obviously, we know that Yugi is always going to be the AWPer, going for those aggressive peaks, I hope, over towards the sort of bench area around Party. But I'm interested to see if it's still just going to be Twist, like, solo carrying that AWP, because in previous iterations of GODSENT, we've seen Schneider pick it up sometimes, just based on, like, the way that the team actually goes about. Like, he's a much more passive AWPer. Like, for example, on A-Long on Cobble, he would always have the AWP. And actually, Doppler was secondary AWPing in the last map, so definitely see if there's a switch up in setup on their CT side at least, and who will pick it up on the T side as that sort of aggressive AWP play. Now, this round alone, there should be some money farming time. Obviously, only really one player who can make all that money is going to be Doppler, and he's looking to make his way over towards B. Again, there's actually no one there. They're all on long, other than the one man in toilets, which will be Snappy.
Yeah, this B site just going to be void of life, and a little bit of friendly fire going on there from the GODSENT boys. Bomb's going to go down. The retake got to come in from Heroic. Now they have just a bounty of pistols to play around here, a plethora of pistols. Snappy going to be on the PT-50. The armor penetration of that going to come in handy for this retake, but it looks like they're just going to try and save, not look to give any money the way GODSENT, which is the right call to make. I mean, you've still got that UMP on Doppler, and he can make some serious cash, and they're more than aware of that. Bomb's already gone down, and to these guys, it doesn't matter if they save or not. So they're just going to fall on out of their sight.
They're saving what they have.
Yeah. They just saving their delicious kill reward. The $300 that has been nestled inside of every one of these players.
Or 600
corpses. Or 600. Yeah. There's a little extra that he can retrieve.
And the pittance that Schneider gets as well for kills with that CZ. It's only $100.
It's like
right?
it's like a piñata, but with dollars inside of a fleshy, squishy house.
God.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's terrible. No one ever thought about CS like this, but that's the truth of it. 3-0 to GODSENT, though, as everyone stays alive in that round. Nice, pacifist round from across the board. Often. Like to see it more. You know, make love, not war. 3-0 right now. And, well, we are going to be seeing a buy-in coming in from Heroic. Yugi going to be on the AWP. Rifles across the board. Only a little bit of utility for them to play around with.
Yeah, that's going to be where they're a little bit limited, and especially when you have to take into consideration they don't actually have a kit on the board either. So if the bomb goes down, they're going to have to move very, very quickly. And speaking of moving quickly, water control is completely taken by GODSENT for Valde straight through the wood. Goodbye, Letcrow. What a chance of trading that kill. Schneider's still around that area, but, well, not going to go back towards that wood anytime soon. Nice start into this round. Obviously, they need those sort of kills, considering how limited their utility is. Nade is going to be thrown out in an attempt to do a little bit of damage. Actually does 2. Not anything too crazy. Gets another one. Nade just reading the game perfectly at the moment. Catches off 2 different players. Twist will be able to take out Yugi though, and this actually opens up the A side a little bit. You have to be careful though. Nico is still waiting towards long, but he just seems a little bit sleepy at this point in time. Wasn't ready for Twist to push in.
Valdi through the smoke, who at this point is just deleted obstructions.jpg. He can see through walls, smokes, anything that's in his way. He finds the frag through it regardless until Pronax puts an end to him. Now into a line Snappy 1v1. No, Schneider didn't know where he was, but he lands the flick. Down goes Snappy. And that's GODSENT to pick up that 4th round consecutively. The money on the side of Heroic going to be very low once more. I imagine we're going to see them buy down to about $2,000, so maybe a couple of deagles here and there for the most part. I imagine maybe a couple of 5.7s as well, and that's what we're going to be seeing. Tiny bit of utility for them to play around, but there's some armor as well, because, you know, why the hell not? They are going to be receiving a little bit extra money, and we'll have enough to buy down in the next round. Regardless, they just want to try and focus on damage. You don't want to allow GODSENT on the T side of overpass just to start to build up this economy. It's a very scary thing to have to deal with. And well, Doppler trying to get some revenge on Evaldi through the plywood there. Doesn't quite find the frag. Does tag him just a tiny bit. 5 damage. A little pat on the head.
Yeah, not really too much done as of yet. And this is a bit of a worrying prospect. As you mentioned, economy already starting to build up for this T side, off to a very, very good start, winning that first buy round, and especially considering they were 2-man disadvantage, and Twist is just able to sneak onto the site and do more damage than he ever should have been able to get away with. And, well, we already mentioned the fact that they had to move so quickly because they didn't have any kits, and it does catch them out towards the latter stages of the round. Now, in this one, obviously just pistols. Now, we've seen them do a lot of damage with these pistols previously, so there is still an opportunity for them in this round, playing a lot of sort of sketchy angles, like hiding a little bit, just to make sure that they could get the best out of these pistols. But so far, just clearing out angles. GODSENT going to be taking their time, although they do have to be a little bit careful, because only 40 seconds left on the clock, and these pistols just seem to become more deadly the lower that clock goes.
Yeah, now Nico's playing the corner that they should check, as they found that AWP shot through. He does get tagged down low, but that might encourage them not to check it. They think that whoever's there should be dead, and somehow he's clinging on his last legs. Let out towards the site, does deal with Valde. Nico's going to fall as well, because Twist does check the angle. Moddy's here alone. Does find one, looking for a second, finds some damage, but is going to fall, and then the flank coming in from Snappy going to be shut down by Disco Doppler. 5-0 GODSENT. They pick themselves up a 5th. Heroic yet to have anything, and it looks to be a similar case to what we saw on Mirage, Tom. It just is, you know, GODSENT controlling the early stages of the game, and I hope that quite soon we're going to see the fabled comeback from Heroic.
Yeah, hopefully not a feeble comeback, otherwise this game will be over very, very quickly.
That is the wrong thing.
But no, I think the scarier prospect as well is that was on their CT side. So GODSENT was starting off very strong CT side. That's okay. If they start strong on the T side, things get very, very worrying. And, well, at least there we go. Yugi once again. He's at, well, I say once again, I think that's his first kill. But either way, he is going to be starting things off with the aggression over towards middle. Something I wanted to see with that AWP. He gets the pick, and look at the damage already done. Schneider low, Doppler with a tag, and the CT's at a strong position. However, we've already seen this one. Now, Nico's in what I would refer to more of a Magisk position on this map. Just very, very aggressive, but not going to be checked. Prodax none the wiser. And there's that 2-man advantage once again. And this time, they're just going to fall back, play things safe.
Yeah, 2-man the advantage now in favor of Heroic, and at this point, GODSENT looking to be a little bit dazed and confused over here towards B. They want to try and find some sort of entry, something in retort, and that Molotov will force these players out of position, but ultimately just into a more passive location, as now Lekro can't find anything. And, well, Bomber's going to be down miles away, all the way back towards T-Con. They have to rotate back around and go ahead and grab that. Doppler trying to clear out mid, but Heroic just playing this very passively. They know they don't need to take these aggressive angles anymore, and that slam dunk from Moddy from downtown. The trade does come through from Lekro. Finally, someone does something on the Swedish side. But still, nades and utility just raining in over towards short. Lekro very quickly going to find himself at the mercy of whatever utility is still up for Heroic. I mean, Nico's still got plenty to play around with, and he's rotated down towards B. That nade going to find some serious damage. Now comes Lekro. Yugi says no, and it's all on Doppler. 15 seconds left. He's going to fall back and save. Does have the AWP at least as a bit of a diamond amongst the turds here for the side of GODSENT. But that will be Heroic picking up their first round. They keep 4 players alive, and that's ideal for them. They have to try and start building up this economy very, very quickly to counteract the money that has been fast accruing on the side of GODSENT.
Yeah, much better round from them as well. This time they don't make similar mistakes to what we saw in the previous, where they get the advantage and then just, well, basically get caught out by one man sneaking. And that was, of course, Twist. And it did look like just the passive positions really did catch GODSENT out. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't find any picks, and eventually the round just slowed down enough that it was very, very easy for Heroic to finish that one off. Now, this time, we're seeing a little bit of a different aggressive push. It's going to be Yugi on long. Not going to go for the peek over towards middle, and well, they already know that because Pronax has pushed very, very far, but in the meantime, they've repositioned their aggression and put it over towards B. The Snappy will get the first frag, taking down Doppler.
Yeah, very quickly, things are looking a little bit worrying here for GODSENT. As the second we see Heroic on you know, with the buy up on these rifles, and you don't see just an amazing solo play coming out from, well, I believe it was Twist in one of the previous rounds, who pushed up all the way up and towards the A site without being noticed. Suddenly, you know, the second they don't have that individual play to kickstart into these rifle rounds, things have slowed down dramatically for them. Now they're trying to make some aggression up towards toilets, so their presence knowing Lekra are going to be on the corner, but Nico is just watching it, not going to allow them to get away with the same degree of freedom they did last time. Moddy's on the site, going to be going for the jump peek, and oh, you don't do that against Twist. Down goes Moddy, and that's going to be the equalizer. Nico still watching this angle. Twist is there. Is going to go down, though. Twist will fall. That's the AWP out of the hands of GODSENT. They also lose the player. Now they have to worry about Nico on the flank, who could potentially make his way up through long or push in through toilets. Valdi on the other side of the smoke is going to find one onto Lekro 2v4. And here's Nico on that flank. Pronax is watching it down. He falls, and Schneider next on the site to go down at the mercy of Yugi with that AWP. It will be Heroic to find their second. Once again, they keep 4 players alive. That's going to be amazing for their economy. But thanks to getting that plant, GODSENT will still have enough money to buy up.
Yeah, definitely going to help them out quite a bit. And, well, now we get to see how they're going to react. Will they bring the AWP back into play? Yes, they will. Twist is going to buy it back up. So still playing that AWP role for his team. And, well, on the other side, obviously, it's going to be Yugi keeping that in play. 2-5. Obviously, Heroic want to keep stringing these rounds back together. 5 rounds isn't actually a worst-case scenario on overpass, but you know that GODSENT are going to want to get a lot more than that. Otherwise, momentum-wise, they're just going to be down in the dumps going into that second half. Now, this time, I feel like they're being a little bit more passive, trying to make sure that they don't just lose players very, very early into the rounds. And, well, that's reasonable, to be fair to them. They don't want to be losing that. I'm liking the boost. Schneider is going to be spotted, though. Won't be able to find anything, as Yugi's just going to fade away, make sure that he can't be countered by anything of the sort. And actually, the second they do this, they instantly take more control over to a different bit of the map. They lose toilets control. Okay, we'll take over long. And you can just see it now from Nico, just pushing straight out.
Yeah, I think it's very nice adaptive play coming in from Heroic. I mean, they've kept 3 players over towards this A site time and time again. They know the 2 guys on B can lock things down if the time does come. Doppler's here alone playing the lurk. Everyone else making their way towards A, because that is where GODSENT have been hitting time and time again. And Heroic have done a lot of work by sticking 3 players here to try and counteract this. Now, Nico's going to get pop flashed out, finds one. There's the spray, going to be on 2. Schneider has to trade things out in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, just a huge explosive play over towards long by the lone Heroic player. He will be traded out by Schneider, but it's still a 2-for-1 in favor of Heroic. You can see this has taken all the momentum, all that planning that had gone into this take, just sucked out of it at a moment's notice. Lekro going to be trying to make something happen out towards toilets as the rotate still pulling on through up towards this A site. But Heroic, they rotate up a 3rd player. They leave Snappy to hold B alone. Now Lekro does find Moddy. The pop flash is raining on through, and down goes Yugi as well in the blink of an eye. It is all on Valdi to hold down the site, and he actually rotated on off. Snappy's rotating up as well to try and help him out, but ultimately he can't find the bomb planter, and down he goes. Lekro's only 12 HP, but still fragging like a demon, and now it's all on Snappy here. 1v3 turns into a 1-on-2. Bomb is planted and working against him, but he's coming in fast on this retake. Spotted through the smoke, though. Doppler quick to guillotine the head of that beast before it can find it too much. It will be GODSENT to find themselves their 6th. That round, literally a minute of waiting, and then all taking place within about 25 seconds. GODSENT just a huge explosive play out towards A, despite a strong start from Nico.
Yeah, and the play from Nico is actually very, very good. I do wonder maybe he should have fallen back after the first couple, because you've got a huge advantage already. And obviously, that's a confidence play in itself to just try and take that, but it's a little bit worrying. And, well, Nico, speak of the devil, he's about to take a lot of early damage, down to 56 HP. He's playing a slightly different angle to what we saw previously, but it's still pretty similar. Doppler almost lost as well over towards Monster, so I'll have to be a little bit careful. Connector control is going to be taken by GODSENT. They've been given that relatively freely so far. Doppler is going to go down through the gap again. Yugi going for the double peak, takes down 2. And well, this is looking shut down already. Nico wants to try and finish off Twist, and will do just that. And Pronax is going to push straight back in from a round where they probably should have won to a flawless round straight back. That's the reset onto GODSENT's economy.
Yeah, this is where, you know, for the first time, we're going to see GODSENT at the mercy of a poor economy. We've seen them have plenty of money up until now, and now it's going to be called into question a little bit. They will be buying on down to about $2,000 across the board. Schneider won't have too much to invest into the next. He will kind of be relegated down low anyway, so he opts to buy the Deagle. Looks like it's just going to be a B rush, though. The infamous matchmaking strategy coming underway. Let's see if it does work out for GODSENT. And while Doppler and Pronax, they're making it work. They find 2 frags very, very quickly. Modi here trying to be the anchor roll, just trying to lock them out the site. Buy time for the rotate. Opts to jump down, and it does work out as he finds himself a second. Nico's there as well to find another, and now it's all on Lekro on the site alone. He does have an AK to play around with. Schneider's here now as well to try and back him up. And oh, Yugi through the leg of his teammate. Might tag Nico, but ultimately Lekro going to be coming out worse, and that engagement is all on Schneider. 12 HP in a dream. And well, Nico's up close and personal down beneath him. Schneider does spot it out, and Nico doesn't connect the shot somehow, but Yugi's there to remedy it. A very dangerous round, though, from Heroic. 2 players left alive, despite the fact GODSENT invested next to nothing into that round.
Yeah, not bad. Dropping a few players, keeping things very, very costly for the CT side, not allowing them to build up a lot of cash, which, other than Nico, they really don't have very much at all. And the T's are going to be coming back in with a buy. As you said, Schneider not going to have enough to get a rifle on the board, but still has the trusty UMP. Could just basically play that aggressive role of pushing around. At the moment, he's actually playing very passively, ironically, which makes me look like a bit of a fool, but we'll see the way he continues in the latter portions of the round. Doppler still playing the lurk over towards this B site. Hasn't had too much luck with it so far, going down through walls and being taken out over by Monster. So we'll see if he can finally have some more of an impact, I suppose, into this round.
See, the real issue here, right, is GODSENT, they don't, you know, they run into some problems. They try going B to switch things up. It nearly works, and then it just seems to be default back to heading over towards A, and it hasn't been working out for them. Schneider is to try and refrag, does have the UMP and finds that first. And let's trade things out for the AK. But now Yugi and Modi both here to trade. They have the crossfire set up, and they spot the second player as well, who goes in for the peek for info. And well, Lekro going to continue to take the duel. Twist is here, luckily enough to back him up. But smoke goes down, and that's going to allow these players on the A site for Heroic now to fall on back and just fade away from that engagement. Actually, Doppler dispatches a 1 down towards B. Snappy is going to fall, leaving Valdi here alone. 1v1 in this engagement in towards the site. Pop flash comes out, but Valdi's going to be going on a long rotate. Might catch Doppler off guard, and he does so. Now all of a sudden, GODSENT looking like they're going to make their way out towards A as a result of losing a player early on. And well, Twist zipping around like a speed demon, still going to go down. Modi shuts him down, and now it's going to be Yugi to rotate back on up. Lekro's here alone. The crossfire set up perfectly, and well, down falls Lekro. That is GODSENT to find themselves with their lead dwindling. Heroic pick up a 5th. And now there's only 1 round the difference between these 2 teams. What was a very strong start, quickly looking to be like Heroic catching up, and GODSENT running low on ideas.
Still, no matter how this goes, GODSENT still have a good chance over on the CT side. 6 rounds, definitely not too bad either way. And if they could sort of get another one, then we're going to be saying, okay, this was actually a very good half, even though they did start with a 5-0 lead. However, still going to be trying to do some work with these pistols, get themselves forward, cause some damage at least. Obviously, Snappy going to be trying, making a little bit of cash with this MP9. He gets the first. Disco is able to trade in the meantime. And actually, Lekro's going to find another one. This is still not going to be clean. And actually, it's getting a bit scary again. Every single one of these rounds seems to be way closer than it should be. The pistol's still proving to be too powerful for this CT side to at least do things properly. Nico, however, is here to at least bring it back to what should be a very easy scenario. Lekro peeking out, both players so low at this stage. Schneider almost catches him, but will finish. 3 kills for him, at least cleaning up that eco round. But again, it means that their economy is not going to be strong going into the future rounds as the buy now comes back for GODSENT.
I mean, you got a question at this point. Why don't GODSENT just full buy and then go B? Like, I mean, every time they've gone to B, they've been on the eco, right? They make their way in and they get it into like a 2-on-4 every time, and then ultimately kind of die in the rotate. And a lot of that I feel like is due to not having the armor. Then the second they buy up, they go over towards A, and it looks to be the same thing once again. 3 players up towards the A site early on. They're going to try and find something down towards this B site, and a little bit of a boost coming in as well down towards Connector, just trying to make the leaning tower of Swedes. And while you get to find that first frag over in mid, Pronax does go down. That's them. Find themselves the man disadvantage off the bat. And now GODSENT looking like they might be trying a B play, but they've already lost Pronax. So they're going to be heading into this 4-on-5. Unless Valdi falls, he's going to be tagged down very low, just thinking himself, lucky. He returns. Valdi's just a monster. Lecro tries to out Valdi, and you get punished for that. It's now going to be the 2-man advantage going the way of Heroic. Plywood is Valdi's friend.
Get him sliding. He's just sat right up the top in the corner. I didn't even know you could get that high up. That's quite interesting. Right in the corner at the moment, but we'll see if they actually check right up the top. Oh, they have spotted him. He's going to go down. That's the problem. Schneider is actually going to get 3 entry kills. That's ridiculous. All of the players go down to 1 man. Now it's on to Yugi and Nico again. This time they're up against rifles, even at AWP. A couple of low players should make things a little bit easier, but I say that now it's all on Nico. No armor for Twist, so he does have to be a little bit careful. Schneider is going to be playing down in the mini pit. Actually, Twist should be going down, but Schneider's very, very quick to trade, and, well, he's definitely the MVP of that round. Big stuff from him.
I'm telling you, Tom. What did I say? Go B. They go B. They pick it up. And that's why I'm proud to announce that I'm now joining GODSENT as IGL. Yeah, sorry, Pronax, you're out. I don't speak any Swedish.
IGL or coach? I feel
IGL.
like it's more of a coach. Just like, yeah, okay, guys, we're taking a pause. Go B.
Because I don't speak Swedish, and
I think they'll understand Go B.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, but that's all I'm allowed to say. Just the site names, A or B. But yeah, anyway, heading into this, we're already seeing GODSENT making their way once again, potentially down towards this B site. You got 2 players over towards short. Doplin's watching the push out through Monster, and it looks like Heroic trying to force the issue up here as they look to try and peek out. Valdi's here by short. Moddy's there as well. And well, Lecro is going to be the player tasked trying to watch this, but the peak comes out. Valdi gets boosted up on top of the sandbags, and down goes Lecro. Snappy's in connector as well, and no one's going to be checking the angle. Schneider in danger of being pounced on by the lone aggressive player here, Snappy. Just going to try and go aggressive, though, and this could pay off in a big way. There's 3 players here for GODSENT, and not one of them is suspecting this play coming in from Snappy. The only kind of saving grace is that perhaps Schneider, if he catches the rotate at just the right time, will be able to spot this lone player out, but Snappy coming in from behind, they have to watch out for this, and Pronax is going to be looking the wrong way. He's just going to wait, bide his time, and oh no, Pronax, not like this, not like this. Down he goes. Schneider's here to try and refrag, but Snappy spots him out, and that's going to be 2. A huge player's bomb gets dropped. Nico now rotating around to try and keep an eye on things. In the blink of an eye, it's a 2-on-5. Twist watching the bomb, knows these players going to be rotating around. Snappy might fall, but he's still got to contest with Nico. We peek it out for a mid, but Twist finds himself a second as well. Valdi over at long to try and refrag, and he will be able to find it, luckily enough. And now it's all on Doplin, 1v3.
He's got no time. He's got absolutely no time to do anything in this scenario other than damage the economy of his opponent. 15 seconds, the bomb's all the way over by Fountain, so he's got very little hope. It would have to be a massive mistake, and I don't really know why they're challenging. I'm pretty sure that the bomb has now been spotted by Yugi, so Valde had absolutely no reason to go for that challenge, and, well, they're going to have the money to buy back up. The T's will actually be struggling themselves, but there's not really that much point damaging your own economy just to try and take down a rifle towards the end of the round. I think they should be okay, to be fair. Just about.
One thing's for certain, they're going to have a much better buy than that of GODSENT, who started this off picking up 5 rounds consecutively. Since then, they've only been able to find 2. They want to try and pick up an 8th to maintain this lead. Whoever wins this will win out the half, as it were, continuing to the second with a 1-round advantage. And I think Heroic going to be looking to try and hold on to that. Do have the much better buy out of the 2, but a straight rush out through mid. Yugi's got a lot on his plate here. Finds the first, finds the second as well. Looking for the third. Oh, goes for the no-scope, but he can't quite connect it, and Pronax takes him down. Now they're going to continue this aggression in through toilets, but Snappy, once again, the thorn in their sides. Finds one. Pronax going to pick up the AWP, goes for the peek, and Snappy just constantly in the back line, constantly disrupting these plays. It's all on Doplin once again. 1v4 does turn it into a 1-on-3. Nico's on the bomb, goes out for the peek, and Nico's going to go down as well. Doplin making this competitive, nearly gets the third. Money has to fall on back. Just misses that headshot by a couple of millimeters. a couple of pixels, and well, he has got Valdi hot on his heels coming up from behind. Smoke's going to go down, hopefully, to try and deny things, but he doesn't actually have one. Does have a molly to play around with. I'm sure there's a smoke he can pick up on one of his fallen comrades, but still, the crossfire is going to prove to be a bit of a problem for him now. 45 seconds left, still plenty of time to play around with. And he has turned this from a 1v4 into a 1-on-2, so you can't count him out just yet, but he has been tagged down extremely low. One player on each of these sites. Valdi over towards B, playing a bit of an off angle, and Modi up towards A, just on this long corner, but his silencer is sticking out around the corner. He will be going in for the peak. Doplin's here alone, flashes out in towards mid, but he has to watch out. Spots out Modi, but Modi lands the shot. It only took one, and that'll be Heroic to pick up their 8th.
Yeah, not a bad recovery from Heroic, but at the same time, it's still a recovery. Like, 7 rounds on the T side is definitely nothing to frown upon for GODSENT. They're not going to be going into this second half feeling like they've done terribly or that things went wrong. Yes, they probably will be a little bit disappointed that they only got 7, but I don't think that's too much of a problem at all. And in fact, we're going to have to see a good T side out of Heroic. Luckily, they are a team that can definitely do just that. And even just looking at the server at the moment, every single player seems to be having their moments, having like a strong performance. So I'm really excited to see how this second half will go down. Obviously, Heroic are fighting for their survival in this tournament. Now, one of the times where they sort of exploded onto the scene was actually last season of StarSeries, where we saw them actually do very, very well in the tournament, challenging against teams like Tyloo, who are obviously renowned for being very explosive. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they can actually save themselves in the tournament, or whether they won't be going and GODSENT are going to get the chance to go instead.
Yeah, there is a lot to play for at this point, and let's not forget Heroic need to pick this up to take us through to map number 3, which is going to be Train. GODSENT have already found themselves that first map. 1-0 right now in the series. 16-3 on Mirage. This game looks to be just as close, though. And, well, Heroic going to be going in for the push, but Schneider says no. Finds 1, finds 2, and that's going to be bye-bye for the push in towards this B site. Heroic and now looking to be a little bit confused as to what to do. Bombs down out in the open, but they have to try and pick it up. And at this point, it's not looking like GODSENT going to let them have that satisfaction just watching it. You can see Nico wants to try and dart out just to pick it up. Pop Flash comes through. He gets the bomb, and he's getting the hell out of there. Product's going to be tagged down low. Actually, they're still continuing to go for these peaks, and it's not paying off for them. Lekro's on 2 now as well. In the blink of an eye, it's all on Nico. 1v5. Now, Lekro and Schneider both tagged down very low, but they know exactly where Nico is, and I'm going to leave too much for him to get any possibilities out of this round. They actually fall on back, and that's going to give him a good bit of ground to play around with. He continues to push it towards B. They're so dedicated to this site. They really want it. And now Nico, he's been tagged down incredibly low. Going to have to land some truly incredible shots, and ultimately Schneider going to be the one to do just that. 3 frags for him into that round, 2 for Lekro, and that's GODSENT to pick up the pistol, equalizing themselves at an 8-8 scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely no clue as to why they kept challenging over towards Monster. The USP have an absolutely massive advantage in those long-range duels, and, well, Lekro was just very happy to take the latter frags after probably not expecting them to peak after what happened with Schneider, but either way, we are going to see the force up. The Tech 9s are in play. It's going to be Twist to actually spot out a couple of players initially. He may have even seen the bomb. But he does have the FAMAS. Definitely there for the range. Same with Schneider and that M4. Now, they do have to be a little bit careful. Nico's looking to try and flank in, but Twist has got him anyway. And they are just cleaning things up, wiping these Tech 9s. And, well, only one left. Yugi, normally used to a bit of a more long-range weapon in the hands of his AWP. But not this time. Flawless round coming out from GODSENT, looking to build up that money as much as possible.
I mean, at this point, things are not looking too good for the start of Heroic. I would have liked to see them do a little bit more damage into that round, but, you know, 5 alive for the side of GODSENT mean they're going to be rolling in cash heading into this, providing they don't lose too many players just to the Danes with their Glocks out, which is always terrifying to face off against, but they're going to be making their way in through Connector already. They're going to be tagged down by those nades. Snappy feeling the brunt of that. Well, the Glock's just trying to find some damage through the smoke, but a chance damage. Prodax has gone aggressive as well up towards top mid. Now he could potentially go down with Twist through the smoke. Going to be whipping out the Tech 9. That's a man down now for Heroic, and they don't really have much to play around. There's the slam dunk in from Doppelin. And here we go. The smoke fades. Suddenly the ruse is up. Modi able to find 1, but that is it. Twist comes on through, finds 3. And that is going to be GODSENT to pick up that 3rd consecutive anti-eco. They convert all 3 rounds there on the back of the pistol. Well, all 2 rounds on the back of the pistol, sorry. And now they're going to be able to buy down. Plenty of money for them to play around with. Pronax, I hope, keeps the MP9. And he does. What a guy. He's a heartthrob. 8-10 right now, and Heroic will have enough money to buy down for themselves.
Yeah, well, this is somewhat of a bonus round currently in for CT side. Now, interestingly, something I mentioned, we're going to have Doppler on the AWP. So they have switched it up for this CT side. Not sure if that's just for this round, just because he didn't want to keep whatever he had, the UMP, in play, or... No, I think he may have dropped the FAMAS over, but either way, it's their decision. Now, this is an interesting push, to say the least. The flash has not worked. Thank you very much, Modi says, as he gets 2 easy frags as they attempt to push through Monster. He was ready, he was waiting, and, well, now he gets the reward.
Yeah, Schneider's here alone. Has a lot on his shoulders to try and hold this back. Finds one, but can't quite connect onto the second. Snappy is there to refrag, and that's going to be the 2-on-4 retake scenario coming in for GODSENT. Smoke's already down from heaven, which means that Doppler can't find anything through the smoke, and it's already going to be a save basically confirmed here. I mean, they get locked at the site so early on. Twist looking like he wants to try and go for some aggression, but it does seem unwarranted, and instead he's going to fall on back. It will be a 9th going the way of Heroic, but the AWP and the FAMAS saved means that a buy into the next round is going to be more than possible here for GODSENT. And I mean, you know, I just think they don't need to go for that long push ever again. Not one of Pronax's best decision-making, you know, as he did just push on through. The flash didn't work at all, and that allowed Muddy to pick up 2 early frags. That B site was all on Schneider, and ultimately he couldn't do it. Twist able to find 1 on the exit, so they're making it a little bit costly here for Heroic, but now he needs to just get the hell out of there with the AK. He's been able to scavenge. A 9-10 right now, as the scoreline gets ever closer.
Yeah, I think obviously the flash that was thrown, it didn't miss. It was that it was for someone playing close. So it doesn't really work if there's somebody holding back as far as was expected. And I think the idea that they went for was, okay, we've thrown this smoke down. They're not just going to sit all the way back because they have that control. Why would they not take that map control? But obviously on the side of the Danes, they were aware of this sort of push and just caught them out. Completely countered. So I don't think they'll try that again. I think it would be very, very silly after clearly it didn't work at all. Now, okay. I think even they're not sure who's playing, or Doppler and Twist just throwing it to each other, and it looked like Twist just said, nah, I don't want it. You can keep it. And they got forced to have it towards, well, by his teammate. We are going to have Nico taking over connector control. Quite aggressive positions at the moment from this CT side, and Schneider actually holding long from on the site. Quite interesting scenario. It does mean that if they wanted it, they can just have it. They could take that position completely. Once again, we are going to see that same deep smoke thrown down, but as said, I don't think anybody's going to be flashing through it this time. They're just waiting passively, and, well, because of these aggressive angles, Doppler should be able to find information relatively quickly that nobody's going in that direction, especially with all the noise it's been making. I'd quite like to see him continue his push, find out if there's anybody over towards his side, because at the moment, there's just going to be 2 players to actually defend this.
Yeah, Pronax peeks out wide. Lecro's now here alone. You can see that Schneider's got to hop down in towards the site. Twist is rotated around as well, but Schneider's going to get caught out towards heaven, and then down goes Lecro in the blink of an eye. It's all on Twist and Doppler. And actually make that just Doppler here as he finds himself 1v5. This B site crumbling around him, and Yugi just pushes on through, completes the Oh Baby a triple, and that's going to equalize this out 10-10. A phenomenal B take, entirely textbook coming in from Heroic. And I mean, I think a lot of that falls onto the very creative use of the boost up on top of the, I mean, I called them sandbags, but they're what? They're like cement bags more than anything to spot the player pushed up in and around the smoke in heaven. If Schneider had been allowed just to exploit that position and just finds heads over the top of the smoke, then it could have been a very different story, but they shut him down, and that's going to mean that that 10th round goes the way of Heroic. They equalize things up, and now the buy coming in from GODSENT going to be weak, to say the least.
It's actually sort of a half buy. Like, they've dropped the rifle over to Twist, and they can still buy in the next round. So it's actually quite an interesting one. They're just basically saying, okay, Twist, go ham,
see what you
try
can
and
do.
Kill everyone. If you succeed, great. If not, we can still buy. And I'm liking it. He's doing a lot of damage already. Finds 2 kills early on. Going to pick up the AK. They've actually got quite a decent buy now on the board. You look at Pronax, doesn't have any armor, but Doppler's managed to get a rifle. And somehow, this 1 rifle mag 7 pistol buy has actually got them with a man advantage and a couple of lowish players on the other side.
No.
Lecro's going to get 1 more. This is actually working for GODSENT. Just falling back, spamming shots. Snappy trying to get into this angle. Angle. And they've just been absolutely wrecked. Don't know how that happened. Lovely round from GODSENT, but I don't know what just happened for Heroic.
Snappy's going to learn you can't tango with the Ango.
Yeah.
As a 10-11 score, I feel like you just cemented the fact that maybe you are an Aussie that much more. But yeah, I mean, 10-11 right now. 1 round the advantage of the Swedes. As somehow they convert that round from nothing. And now they're going to have a double up setup to play around with. Twist and Lekra are going to be the players on that. Interestingly enough, they're not going to use Doppelin as their secondary AWP. He's been kind of shying away from the AWP a little bit. Even though we did see him pick it up in Mirage briefly and have a small stint with it there. Twist this time to find the opener with the AWP for the side of GODSENT. It's a good start from them. Yugi is going to be able towards Park, but Doppelin's pushing up aggressively here. The lone rifle player for the side of Sweden going to be pushed on up. And while Yugi just on the corner. Just comes down to will they ever find each other? 3 players now pushing up towards B, and actually the positioning of Disco Doppelin going to be phenomenal here as he does hear Yugi rotating back to rejoin the rest of his comrades over towards B. That's going to allow this early rotate to come on in because of the positioning employed right now by Doppelin. You can see there's 3 players over towards this B bomb site to hold it back, and with only 4 guys pushing in for Heroic, it is going to be an extremely stacked site.
Already they're going to be building up. They've got their smokes ready and waiting. Now with them throwing in, there should be a rotation very, very quickly coming out from Twist as well. The peak will be thrown out. Nades being done, but actually Pronax is going to get caught very, very quickly. Already, this isn't going very well. It's all just Schneider left on the site. As a rotation will be coming in as he goes down as well. This leaves it down to just 2 once again. This B site hold doesn't seem to be working at all for the GODSENT side. Doppelin on the retake will be able to get 1. Takes a kill over towards Monster, but it's still going to be this 2 versus 2. The real advantage they have is all their utility.
Yeah, Twist now 1v2. Doesn't have anything to play around with. Just going to look to fade away up towards Heaven. If he can find a frag now, then he might still go for this, but they're playing things very passively. A great read on it coming in from Heroic. Yugi and Snappy going to stay alive, and Twist looking to fall on back, save the AWP into the next round. Might be able to find 1 on the exit as Snappy looks to get the hell out of there, but he's just going to fall on back through long. Yugi's already locked that down, so it's going to be an equalizing 11th round coming in for Heroic. Now, I always have an issue with the way that GODSENT play overpass on their CT side. I've seen them throw away far too many games because of their weak B hold, and I feel a lot of it, I hate to have to say it, comes down to having Pronax holding B. B is a site that usually you kind of see 2 players hold it down, at least in the early stages of the round. You might then see a 3rd rotate up through Heaven for the fast rotate between A and B. But the way that they play it is Pronax holds Monster, and that is something that I think it's such a pivotal point of that B site. It's the main avenue of entry in towards B, and they leave arguably their weakest aimer to hold it. And time again, you just see teams exploit that same fact. They take him down, then suddenly, you know, you've lost a player towards B. I'd much rather see him either hold Heaven or that A site passively, because I feel like they're roles where you can rotate around and you then have your best aimers to lock down the key avenues of entry. And then you have Pronax as kind of this free rotate. But anyway, yeah, let's see. Dopplin's going to be here to hold things down. The push coming in and underway. Well, he's going to fall straight away at the hands of Molly. But Lekra and Pronax quick to turn things around. Going to equalize it back into a 3-on-3. Bomb's going to be looking to go down any second now. And it will. Yugi quickly swapping out the AWP in favor of the AK up close and personal here as he can... One of these players coming in on the flank. It's going to be Schneider who does guillotine the head of the beast. Twist as well to find Modi. It's all on Valdi, 7 HP, a bucket full of dreams. And right now, it looks like it might work out. But then there's the slam dunk from Schneider. GODSENT, they pick themselves up at 12th. And they will be retaking the lead. Also, the economy of Heroic not going to be looking too great. They should still be going for the buy, thanks to having 3 players with more than enough money. But you will have 2 relegated down to Tech 9, so we could maybe see a bit of a catalyst buy. The 3 players, no, it is just going to be a full up force into it. Fine.
Yeah, both teams very much on the break. I do understand why they're going to go for this. They've been keeping these rounds so close that to just hand a round over to GODSENT now, I just feel like that would be a complete waste. And well, again, it wasn't a good B hold. It has to be said. It was actually just a very strong retake from the remaining players coming back in and quick rotations enabling them to do so. Once again, the double AWP setup is in play. See if they can find these picks early on. I would actually like to see Heroic just keep hitting that B site until something is really done about it. Yes, the rotate worked from GODSENT, but other than that, it wasn't strong. They still got the entry kills. Pronax was able to stay alive long enough that Lekra could then get back in. And Schneider was actually already a monster, so very, very quick on the rotations. But B-side definitely seems to be the weaker of the 2. We'll see if that's actually shown here, as the majority of the players are heading their way over towards its A site at the moment. Rotations back through connector. Long control is going to be taken as well. With Twist on this AWP, and, well, he has been doing well so far. 21 and 13. Most frags in the server.
Yeah, I mean, Twist has just been on fire lately. 11 to 12. In favor of GODSENT right now, and it looks like Heroic going to be trying their luck over towards A. Now, they haven't really hit this site all too regularly. They did early on their T side, and it didn't really work out for them too favorably. Now, they're going to be going there with rifles instead. Smokes and flashes raiding on in to try and cut this site in two and isolate some of these engagements. Already, though, they've employed a bit of a booster spot on over. Twist over to find one. The refrag can't come through, but is a man advantage seized now for the side of GODSENT as they just fade away. They do allow this bomb to go down, but they maintain the man advantage. Don't get traded out. It's going to be Modi on the flank who can really make a difference here. He's going to be the linchpin into this round. Oh, and then through the wall, Legro drops out Yugi. Pronax is still over towards B, but it actually does pay off for them now as Modi just fires a few stray bullets his way. Now has to fall on back. It's a 3-on-5. The retake taking a long time to come through, but they're just looking to try and maintain these advantages. Nico with one, goes for the spray, but he only connects one frag. It's all on Modi, the lone Tech 9 player. 1v4, got a lot on his plate to try and do here. Peeks out wide, and, well, just too many Swedes in one place. And too little bullets in that Tech. 13 to 11. The pause going to be called in, and justifiably so, as things are getting incredibly close here, Tom.
Once again, we see just a completely different duel going in on the other side of the map with Pronex. Just his presence alone stopped that flank. And because there were 4 players actually coming from the sort of stairs area and over towards bank, if that flank had come in, that round could have been ended in seconds just by that one player just being the bane of their life and stopping any sort of rotation. Pronax just staying on B basically was just saying, hey, yeah, okay, maybe I'm not in the retake. We already have a man advantage on the site itself. Your flank is completely void, and you have to now go rotating all the way back around. And we saw that he only got there in the last couple of seconds when it was 4 versus 1. So actually very nice, again, positional play coming out from the in-game leader, even though he didn't have to fire a bullet.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of Counter-Strike. Didn't need to shoot. Just him being there was enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a pause justifiably so coming in now for Heroic. They have to try and figure out where their problems are. And a lot of it, sad to say, just comes down to them not really hitting these shots. And whilst that's normally a very, very weak analytical point, I feel like it is one that is very justified right now. This isn't the Heroic we're used to. This isn't the Heroic that made the semi-finals of IEM. I mean, right now, I barely even recognize some of these guys. Yuki's been having a very insane game. Of course, you know, the kind of latest and probably most notable addition to the roster. But I mean, everyone else kind of fading off a little bit, not having the standout performance we usually see. And if they pick this up, you know, there's still time for them to run away with this. They can still easily convert these next couple of rounds and take this one out from underneath GODSENT's feet. But it is going to be an uphill battle from here on in. They will be going for the force bite to try and make some magic happen. And I mean, Tom, I'm not gonna lie, I want to see this go to 3 maps. I want to see us have all 3 because I think these two teams are just phenomenal to watch. So I'm hoping, you know, for the sake of entertainment, that we can see this go to Train.
Well, I've said it already. I think if GODSENT are going to take it, they're going to have to take it in 2. I feel like Train is just too strong a map for Heroic at the moment, even though against some of the top tier opposition they haven't managed to win. They go close against teams like Astralis. But look at Doppler. Now, his teammate in Schneider will go down, but his position could be so valuable. But actually, they've lost another in Pronax as well. Really, this has to be done by Doppler. He needs to shut this round down, and he only gets 1. Yugi is going to take him down, and that's going to leave it down to the double AWP setup to try and hold off this push. It seems like the pistol presence is going to be enough. Lecro, well, B site hold with 1 AWP. That's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, Lecro and Twist, all that remain are all their couple name list. I'm going to be trying to clutch this out. Well, down goes Lecro. Leaving it on the 19 HP Swede. The AWP for the side of GODSENT trying to hold on to the last bastion. Techro. Techro is pretty cool, actually. I should have gone with that.
Sounds like a genre of music.
It does. Techro. Also, kind of like a dinosaur. But yeah, now it's going to be Twist 1v4 over towards Toilets. Just going to segue past that point. And they actually got to pick up one in the snappy. Now, the only downside is now they're more than aware where he is. But Heroic don't really have the economy to justify going hunting. While it would be phenomenal for them to take the AWP out the hands of the lone Swede, it's not really worth it from their point of view. If he saves that up, there will still be a force buy coming in next round, potentially for GODSENT to try and catch Heroic and reset the economy. it will make sense. They can use him as the catalyst offer and still buy down across, what, 4 out of the 5 players on their team. So the buy is going to be there, and it's going to be fairly strong as well. But I mean, this is it for Heroic. If they pick this up, it's a pivotal round. They need to get this if they want to maintain their momentum, and they want to potentially pick this up without having to go through the likes of overtime. GODSENT, I mean, if they win it, then you're potentially going to see the reset come in for Heroic, depending on whether or not they get that bomb down. And at that point, it's really force buying from them until the end of the game. So the gravity around this round is very intense. It's a pivotal moment here for Heroic. 12-13. Yeah. And they have to pick this up.
So we'll see if we can have a switch around of the way things went previously. Once again, they're going to be heading over towards long. Twist is going to be ready and set up with the AWP. Deep smoke to try and actually isolate him early on, and I think that's definitely needed. Don't want to give this man a single chance. He's essentially going to boost himself up, give himself a better angle, but he can't really see anything over towards long, and that's where they're all sneaking through. 4 players, in fact, just going to be making their way forward. Modi holding for any sort of rotation, has a lot of faith in his teammates. Now it's up to Twist, and he's going to go down very, very quickly. Every single member currently on this site is gone. And this is going to be the round, no doubt, for Heroic. Unless, well, somebody can go insane, and we can already see Lekro's out of there. Not going to deal with that. No chance in the round. And it will be Heroic to pick up round number 26.
Yeah, Lekro and Pronax, the saving duo, whose couple's name is Lonax, which sounds like an insult, but I can assure you it's the most beautiful of words. They find themselves trying to hold on desperately to the UMP and the M4, so they can field a little bit more competition in the next round. Now, Pronax fighting Snappy is going to come in handy. If he could potentially retrieve the AK, which I imagine Heroic are going to really try to not let him do, then suddenly the save out of this round going to be fairly intense, to say the least. Pronax pushing on up, really wants to go for the AK, does grab it. Looks to run away thanks to that smoke. And that's going to be 13-13. Equalized on out. And this is where Heroic are going to be most deadly. We could see them run away with this now as... there we go. There's a much needed pause coming on in. But it's a tech, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, that's all good. Anyway, 13-13. GODSENT going to be this time at the other end of a ruined economy. They do have enough money to potentially go for a strong force, but I imagine we're just going to see them buy down to about $2,000 on the players that have a little bit lying around. Pronax could drop a pistol as well, but it won't really make too much of a difference. And they're going to use these rifles as kind of catalyst rifles into this round, see what they can do, try and find some economic damage. And I mean, yeah, we've seen them make more happen with less, right? I mean, we saw them have, what was it, the Mag 7 M4 buy in one of these rounds, and they actually picked it up.
And I think I know your answer, but in this situation... Should Pronax
I know
give
what you're
the
gonna
rifle
say.
over to Twist?
No, Pronax should have the rifle.
Really?
It's bad for the mentality of the team for a start if he drops that over to someone else. That's one of the main arguments that IGLs make. And you got to bear in mind, Pronax is holding that B site, right? And while that's something that I have said openly that I disagree with, he's still kind of been playing that anchor role down towards B. And regardless, even if they hit A, he can then just save the AK, right? So, I mean, I don't think it's worth Twist in... I mean, he has invested in armor, so... Yeah, you know, I mean, they can still juggle it back and forth at the end of the day, right?
We'll see.
But I mean, I agree with Pronax having it.
He's actually gone aggressive this time. Going to play over towards Monster, clearing out a lot of angles as well. Lekro will be getting the first kill of the round. Now, that means there's another rifle actually on the floor. I think it's already been picked up, though. I think that was probably the AWP, which Snappy now has in his hands. We are just going to see this push coming in. Lekro again. He's stepping up in this round, already finding himself a couple. The aggression in the meantime will come through, and Lekro goes down. Will they expect the second player to be here in the form of Pronax? Likelihood is no, unless he actually heard the footsteps. And it does seem like Modi is a little bit... well, passive at the moment, worried that maybe there is somebody pushing around this corner. Now, the rest of the players, well, I suppose Twist has armor and a CZ, which can be very deadly, but at least Disco has absolutely nothing to play with. The rest of the players are still stacked towards long, 2 of them at least. Still the standoff, though.
Yeah, this standoff is insane. Pronax and Modi both just waiting, and the push going to be coming on in. Pronax lines it up, and there we go. The hero we needed, but perhaps the hero we don't deserve, as he does pick up that frag. Modi goes down. Now it's a 2-on-3. There's an AK on the other side of the map, but I don't imagine GODSENT going to be prioritizing picking that up anytime soon. Nico looking to try and make his way on back, potentially to trade out Pronax, but he's tagged down low, and he's making his way towards B with the bomb. If he goes down, if Pronax finds that frag, okay, Nico does get it. Pronak's gonna fall. Valdi deals with Doppler as well. They're both tagged down so incredibly low. Twist, the golden boy of GODSENT, CZ in hand, armor as well, gonna be rotating down fast as his little legs will carry him down towards that B site to try and catch this bomb off guard. And if he denies the plant, this could make all the difference into this round. There wouldn't be enough time left. He goes aggressive, finds the first. Bomb's gonna be going down. It's a one-on-one now, and all of a sudden, it's all on Nico, but he lines the shot up, and that's gonna be Heroic to pick up this round. It was incredibly close, 14-13. They stay in this, but let's not forget, GODSENT didn't invest much into that round at all. Now they can buy on down. They've done a great job impeding Heroic's economy on the T side. That was exactly what they needed to do, because now if they pick this up, the buy into the next round for Heroic isn't going to be too strong. Nico, the kind of saving grace, sitting on $5,500, but still.
This is so close. It's going to come right down to the wire yet again. We'll see if Heroic win this round. The game should be done, but it's going to be Twist to start. Gets the first kill, looking for a little bit more. Yugi's already traded it out as he looks to fall away. Not going to be much of an advantage at all. Again, just trades across the board at the moment. Pronak's aggressive as well, gives them the man advantage. But the HP still favors this T side. The aggression definitely working out for GODSENT thus far. And now we're just going to see a passive wait coming out from the Danes. They don't want to go overly aggressive. They don't know where the remaining players are going to be. And that's the scariest thing about the way GODSENT are playing at the moment. They're just so unpredictable. The amount of aggression that came in at the beginning of this round was ridiculous. We saw 3 kills within a matter of 20 seconds. Now, oh, they're actually stacking up together over towards this short area, making their way around. It is going to be the push actually coming in, and it looks like the gamble over towards this A side at the moment from the remaining players could actually work out quite well. There's going to be the push from Valde. He's got obviously the support of Yugi with that AWP, but there's already just players waiting, and Pronax, all he has to do is get one. He gets one. His teammates should be able to do the rest. And he's already going to throw the pop flash in. The timing may get the better of him, however, as he's starting to wonder a little bit if this is going to be over towards this B site. The rotation from Twist has already come in. The main player you have to look towards at the moment is going to be, well, actually Schneider, as the bomb looks to go down over towards A. He should be well positioned to actually stop it.
Oh no, Pronax to get caught rotating back up. They chance to rotate downwards B at the worst timing possible. Now it's a 2-on-2. And while Twist and Schneider both fairly far away, Schneider the only player really with an earshot. He's going to be tagged down low from Yugi, and there we go. The Tech 9 pulls through. It's all on Twist. 1 versus 2. Who's going to try and make something happen here, but Yugi spots his head and down he falls. That is Heroic arriving at map point. 15-13. GODSENT, it could have gone your way, but the rotate, if just coming in seconds
yeah.
out of time. Yeah, not even seconds. I mean, I would have said what, about like half a second or two. If Pronax had, well, that is 1 second, so you know. But if Pronax had just stayed focusing on long for a couple more seconds, and I mean, I'm not even sure if he really needed to rotate, right? You already had, what, I believe it was Twist down towards that B site, and he didn't hear anything. So it was a bit of a myth to me as to why they then rotated Pronax off as well. I guess just trying to play the chance game, but ultimately, that 50-50 engagement there does go the way of Heroic, despite being a man down. And well, now it's going to be all or nothing here for GODSENT. They've brought down exactly what they can. UMPs, a Mag 7 on Twist, a scout for Doppler. Ultimately, not enough, I feel, to hold back the tide of Danes, who at this point, clutching into this. Twist but go down early on as Nico does find that frag. Pronax now to try and refrag. Might open up this door, but he's going to get the shock of his life. When he does, there's a lot of Danes on the other side. Pop flash goes out. Pronax up close. It's going to be watching the angle. He's going to go down. Schneider in from short. Letcro's there as well to try and reinforce it. Well, out comes Letcro. That's fine too. Turns into a 2-on-3. Actually able to turn this round around a little bit for them, but then he is going to fall out in the hands of Snappy. It's all on Disco Doppler with that scout in hand. He's got to land some crisp, clean headshots to try and cement this one for GODSENT and keep them in this, or else Heroic, they will be picking up map number 2.
In similar fashion to what we saw in the previous 16-13, looking inevitable. There's only going to be one man who can stop them. He's going to get the first lovely shot with the scout. He's still got so much to do. He has himself a kit. P250 is trusty in this scenario if he can get close. Snappy's already low on HP. He just doesn't have much time to play with. He's got to make his move very, very quickly, and they're going to be just baited back in. He's going to tap the bomb, gets the first, going to fall back, look to try and bait out the second player. He doesn't know where he is. It's going to be Yugi, and he's going to get it!
Oh my god, Disco Doppler! What the hell was that 1v3? And he's going to go huge at the end. The defuse comes in, and against all odds, The golden boy for GODSENT. He clutches it out 1v3. And only Doppelin could have made that play work. 15-14, and he keeps them in it. If anything was going to knock your team back a little bit and hit the morale hard, it is a 1v3 clutch coming out from the lone scout Swede. And now it's only 1 round away from overtime. Tom, this couldn't have been a closer game.
I don't know how they throw that round away. I really don't know how they did that. They were in such a strong position. He had a scout, a P250, and a kit. That's madness. But either way, in this round, Yugi started things strong. He gets the first pick. They're still going to be waiting over towards this B site. It hasn't been a haven of success for GODSENT in this matchup. They're already rotating over quite a few players. This time they do have the AWP onto Twist. There's still so much for them to do. 1 minute 15 on the clock. The T's all surrounding this B site at the moment. But actually, the read is pretty good. Twist going to make an absolute mess of that nade. Not the way they wanted things to go, but now we're going to have the push. They're all in the right position to actually look to hold this one down. Lecro gets one, but it's already traded out. Valde's got another. These nades just being utilized well to slow down any sort of push. This time it's Lecro who's the hero. He gets himself 2. There's only going to be 2 players left to try and challenge this one off. Twist gets another. Now it's all on to Valde, and Lecro's been the hero this time. 4 kills, 15-15, and we are heading to OT.
Oh my god, this could possibly end my life. My heart is racing. And as I imagine is everyone in the chat, you couldn't have asked for a better game than this. 15-15 as we head into overtime. It was looking certain that Heroic could have picked that up, but GODSENT, they pull things back from the brink of defeat. They remain resilient and they remain calm. They pick up the rounds they need to secure an overtime against all odds. And I mean, this is it. This is it. This is all or nothing here. I mean, Heroic, if they lose this, and they are gone, and GODSENT will be heading through to the next stages. It's all on the line right now for the Danes. 1-0 in favor of GODSENT.
I'm still in shock after the Doppelin clutch. I just genuinely have no idea how he managed to pull that off.
I mean, you know, Heroic hoping to arrive on map number 3, which is going to be train, but I feel like the train has already arrived, as it is just endless hype from beginning to end. I'm saying the hype train has arrived, by the way, for those of you who don't get the joke. Spicy
Disco Doplin's driving it.
Yeah. Disco Doplin is. He's got a little
more of a
hat on and everything. Machine. But honestly, this has been phenomenal from beginning to end. We're just going to be having I imagine, a little bit of a pause coming in for both teams just to try and, you know, mull over what just happened. GODSENT to try and keep the morale high, and Heroic have to dig deep to come back from what could be potentially a devastating defeat, unless, of course, they can pick things up. And let's not forget, I mean, this team just came out at the semi-finals of IEM and losing to Astralis, who, you know, are arguably the best team in the world right now. So
I wouldn't even say it's arguable, just by the amount of tournaments they've won.
Yeah.
It's not really arguable anymore. They are the best team in the world. There's going to be a lot of like VP fans who may not be happy with that, but if you win back-to-back tournaments, including IEM and a major, I don't think anybody can argue with that. So yeah, Heroic, they can't take anything away from IEM other than just props to them. They did very, very well just having a new player in, but that's the difference between online and LAN play. We see some very, very different results. Teams struggling. Obviously, Virtus Pro are the classic example of that. Actually, well, obviously last season being relegated and having to play the match to get back into Pro League. So it's not the same thing, not the same thing whatsoever. But at the same time, this match is absolutely ridiculous, and we're going to get to witness at least overtime. And the big thing as well is whether the Danes can just reset themselves mentally to go into this next half. They should have won that. They probably should have won both rounds. So obviously getting the early pick in that last round as well, and then they just get destroyed by Lecro, who manages to spray down 2 and then turn around and find another. And then I can't actually justify how they lost the round before. Like, the first scout shot was lovely, but then the remaining 2 should just never have happened. They didn't really need to repeat the second time after they already knew he couldn't be defusing the bomb, but well, he played it perfectly. He played it very, very well. And now they've got to go into overtime. Obviously, GODSENT, they're going to have the momentum, although this little bit of a slowdown time may actually change things up a little bit. Obviously, having a moment, a minute to just calm down, whereas GODSENT would have been riding that hype train, as you said, just so happy that they managed to pull out a ridiculous clutch. Because a clutch like that, I think in any game, can bring you up from whatever's going on. You could be down by miles. If something like that happens, your whole team's just hyped.
Yeah, definitely so. And speaking of the hype, you guys in chat are keeping it going. So I think a few of you deserve a little hello from us over at the caster's desk, even though it's desks. We're in our house. And yeah, but anyway, we've got Fanani9, the Russian Ducko. Isn't this exciting, Ducko? Nova 19. He's supporting Heroic.
Chicken. I like that name.
Melvin the Chicken. He says nay. Don't know. I think he's saying that he feels that Astralis is the better team, or maybe that Heroic was the better team. I couldn't quite make that out. But regardless, how are you guys doing in chat? Isn't this the most exciting accusation, dude? Hey, buddy, I'm glad you're supporting the stream. Thank you very much for the kind words.
Poor Guy and Harry. Thank you very much for that.
Anyway, we're going to be heading into the overtime now.
Heroic. UK here.
On the T side, GODSENT going to be going for the double AWP setup over on their CT side. Yugi does have the AWP, though, for Heroic, and already it's going to be some raw aggression out towards... Park here is that they try to push up in towards Party, trying to grab mid control early on, but Doppler to find that first frag now just retreats, fades away, and maintains that man advantage for GODSENT here. Making his way back towards the site, and Heroic, well, they have got long control, but they lost a man in doing so, and he's going to be holding the cross now from SWATVan to try and further extend this advantage in favor of GODSENT.
Deep smoke will be thrown out just to try and deny any more peaks from the Doppler. And he's going to be just sitting back, spamming a few shots away, but they're actually going to go rotating. I quite like this, throwing out these smokes just to try and bait in a rotation from the remaining players. And look at this three-pronged defense of Connector at the moment, just waiting around middle. The problem is it does leave Lekro alone. Now, he was very good in the last round, but this is a lot of pressure to have onto him now. Very little actually being spotted out in terms of information. The CTs are left a bit towards a minimum. Are, however, going to be flashing back out to try and at least take a little bit more control. Pronax wants to try and go for a bit of a peek back into water. They haven't taken this control yet, and they're just going to go slow pushing. Now, this could leave Lekro in a bit of a hole. He may not even expect them to be this far forward at this point. Modi just going to go all the way through, sneaking out. Lekro spots them, but they're already on the site. Now the nades could go down, and the CT side have to rotate with the bomb already down and all the afterplant positions ready and waiting. And Valde even trying to catch up Twist.
Yeah, linchpin here going to be Schneider, who's coming in on that flank. Instead now opting to make his way in through Connector, so they do kind of lose the presence there, but Yugi was ready and waiting out towards Monster to watch for this. He's going to be posted up brilliantly to try and dispatch a Pronax, and same with Schneider as he makes his way on through. Yugi lands that shot, and already this retake looking to be made even harder. Valde on the flank, and then there's Modi to peek wide in the blink of an eye. They execute that perfectly. The synergy going to be unreal. Heroic, they pick themselves up their 16th. Let's not forget it's MR3, so it is going to be first to 19 rounds, meaning that Heroic, they need to find themselves 3 more. That you can win 3.5, and then you need to pick 1 up in the second, and that's what Heroic are hoping to do. Now, as a result of GODSENT investing in that double AWP, their economy is going to be in a very bad place now. They need to pick this up if they want to maintain it and maintain the ability to buy. That's the issue with this 10k MR3 overtime, is that the economy does play into it, especially when you go for such an expensive strategy as the double AWP and it doesn't work out. They've already lost so much money on the back of that. They have to pick this round up, or else we could see Heroic potentially 3-0 this first half of overtime. Twist to find that first frag early on. No return in sight just yet. So once again, it's the man advantage seized early on by GODSENT, but Twist continues the aggression and is going to get punished for it. Snappy trades things out. Better late than never. And now it's back into a 4-on-4.
Yeah, an overface there from Twist, to say the least. Needed to fall back. No added value of that peak, and now once again they're going to be in a position where only Prodax is on this B site. They do have, well, players ready to rotate, but the problem is he is literally going to be isolated once again. This is such a problem for their CT side at the moment, where they just go for this A hold, and then when it comes to the rotation, they're just not available to actually slow things down. Once again, the smokes are going to be thrown in. Prodax is going to be left alone. The rotation will be coming in from, I think, Schneider from upper with that AWP, but there's going to be so much to be done, and all of it is going to be reliant on this man here, Pronax.
Yeah, Pronax able to find one. Now has to fade away in towards the site. Isn't going to be traded out just yet as the remaining 3 Danes push their way on through. Modi actually walks straight past him, rallies a few shots in through the spinal cord, and that's going to be enough to drop him out, but still the bomb does fall on the site. Only 20 seconds left. Modi able to make quick work of Schneider on the rotate, but then Doppelin in from Monster. Finds Modi. Yugi last alive and will fall at the hands of Lekra. They needed to pick this up, and he needs to save the AWP as well. There it is. So both teams now going to have enough money to invest into this last round of the half. They will both have AWPs to play around with as well. But actually, Schneider looking a little bit strapped for cash. Will be relegated down to a UMP, I believe. Said it's actually Pronax throwing the M4 over. So we're just going to see him pick up a CZ. Really? No one's going to drop him a UMP? No? Okay. Well then, they opt for the utility and just relegate Pronax down to the CZ.
Again, they're going to be heading over towards this B site. It has to be said, Pronax bought them so much time in the previous round. He does still have the utility to do the same, but he doesn't so much have the weaponry. Again, they're going to be going in towards this B site. Molotovs will be throwing them down. It's so much utility expended, but Modi's just gone walking all the way around. Pronax has managed to get himself one, and actually gets the second as well. Maybe that's what he needed. The CZ in his weapon of choice, and now they're just being slowed down by all the utility expended. Valde will be able to get one, looking for a second through the smoke, just shooting blind at this point and leaving it on to Modi from above. Gets himself one. He's got 3 players left to find, and it's Pronax with a big round. Picks up the triple, and will be getting themselves a second.
Yeah, 17 to 16. This means that Heroic need to take this second half at 3-0 on their CT side. GODSENT, meanwhile, only need to pick up 2 in order to win this out. But I mean, at this point, you know, with this scoreline, based on how we saw these teams play, for a start, I don't think it's impossible for Heroic to pick up all 3. But I feel like most likely we're going to see this go to a second overtime. I don't know if you agree with that, Tom. But I mean, I'm just saying, right? We saw that GODSENT had a very strong start to their T side, but a lot of that came from the poor economy on Heroic. Since then, they only picked up 2 rifle rounds in the latter stages of the game on their T side. So whilst they do have the momentum carrying them forward, they're going to have to do something magical if they don't want to just see Heroic secure themselves 2 rounds and then head through to that second overtime. I'm sad to say it, but I feel like it could take GODSENT to have to win all 3 on their CT side if they want to win this out. But who knows? Anyway, I'm going to head back into this. It's really hard to predict scorelines. If I'm right, it's 50-50.
We are looking at this aggression. Once again, the same pronged attack that we saw previously out from Heroic, just going to try and find these aggressive peaks. We do actually have a little bit of a boost coming in from Schneider, just to try and catch anybody pushing towards long. There is a little bit of a battle going to go down in towards Connector as well, with Lekra just trying to take a bit more control. Obviously, we know that Valde actually in the first half got the majority of his kills through the wall, so maybe he can pull out a little bit more magic there, although it has been a while since they've actually played the CT side. Probably weren't expecting to be playing another CT half of overpass in this matchup, but there we go. Yugi, he finds that first pick, something they've been very, very good at throughout this game on CT and T side. And once they did, normally this was where GODSENT actually had their troubles. Lekro is going to be pushing around. Now, will he check the angle onto Modi? Well, it may not matter. Nico found another one. Lekro will actually trade. And, well, now we're back to this 3 versus 3. 2 players currently over on this B site. And that actually seems to be where the bomb is going to be rotating.
Oh, and Valde going to go down. GODSENT now looking to try and capitalize on this. Only Snappy here to hold things back. Solo Yugi now rotating up towards heaven, but the smoke should rain in soon to null and void that position. Instead, he's just going to bypass it completely, try to exert some pressure by making his way towards Graffiti. In comes the Molotovs and smokes to try and force Snappy back. He does just push on through, though, to try and hold this close angle. Doplin's going to be watching it, but he denies the bomb. Blood finds a second as well. Doplin able to trade things out, but a little too late there. Doesn't quite protect his Swedish brethren as they both go down on the site. Yugi versus Doplin. Bomb will go down. Doplin's going to watch the angle. Yugi's going to go in for the peek. It does spot him jumping on up, but he can't quite connect it. Yugi's gonna be tagged down low, and right now they're just playing it around the boxes. Doppler just trying to buy time. Deny the defuse, and he finds the frag. That's gonna be GODSENT arriving at their 18th. They only need to pick up 1 more round to secure this, and I mean, I figured we would have seen a much more stronger CT side showing already from Heroic, but that round does go the way of the Swedes, meaning they only need to find themselves with 1 more to win out overtime.
Oh, I think earlier we did have a little bit of a conversation about Doppler needing to step up. He's definitely arrived. I think there's no doubt about that. Another big round from him, clutching things out for his team. He's moved up 27 frags, joint top in the server, but there's Yugi with an aggressive push, almost being instantly countered. Doppelum will actually find Valde as well, so not really too much in the form of aggression. This seems to be the problem for Heroic. They are going aggressive, but on too many fronts. They get one player winning the duel and the other just loses it, and then, well, it's null and void. Absolutely pointless. Meaning that now a 4 versus 4, and if anything, the advantage is back with GODSENT again.
Yeah, definitely. Not just because, you know, having it in the 4-on-4 is going to be much more beneficial to the T side in terms of when they do make the push in towards one of these sites. It is going to be a man down, essentially, but also Yugi's been tagged down within a single shot away from death. At least Doppelum can sponge a couple in through his fleshy body, which is still currently on 44 HP. So, for the time being, it looks like GODSENT are making their way over towards A. You can see that they leave Lecro down towards B, and actually Pronex now rotating back over towards mid. It's still a little bit undecided, the fate of this bomb. I think they're going to wait and see if Lecro hears anything down towards B, and as they expend that little bit of utility, it wouldn't surprise me if now they switch things up and make their way down towards this B site. They know that smoke's been wasted. That's one smoke less on this B bomb site, and they actually hear Snappy rotating away, so it's going to be the right call. There's only Moddy here to hold things back as Snappy's now made his way up towards Heaven. He can rotate down towards B very, very quickly, but here's the push in from the Swedes. They're making their way on through. The utility does work out, though, and delays the push for the time being. Lecro quick to refrag and put it back into a 3-on-3, but Snappy's already here to watch the cross. Does find one. It's a 2-on-3. Nico and Snappy here to try and hold things down. The double peak does pull through, and down goes Lecro. It's all untwist. 1v3, and he will fall. Heroic, they stay in this 17-18 now. One more round, all that's necessary for them to take this through to double overtime.
Still very, very close. The switch up towards the end was the right decision from GODSENT. Unfortunately, they weren't aware that Snappy rotated in quickly enough that he was able to help shut down that push. Down to the wire once again. GODSENT needing this round to take them over the line, take them through to the next round. And I think they'll be playing up against either Kinguin or Space Soldiers, which we have coming up after this, or Heroic. If they can actually win this and win the next OT, we go to a third map.
Yeah, and I feel like on a legal basis, we should advise anyone with a weak heart to stop watching now. This game has just been too intense, and I would hate to be responsible for the death of anyone watching, because my god, this is causing me to have palpitations, and I'm
not even betting on this game. Imagine if you were betting on this, you'd be losing your mind. Obviously, EGB, that's the place to go. Just a slight plug. But either way, moving on, we are going to see the aggression over towards toilets. A little bit of maneuverability. Once again, we see this. The CT side, once they lose that control over short, they instantly take back long. Nico's been very good in this position. Well, a while ago, obviously, in the first half, which seems like a monumental amount of time away. Lecro is going to be the one to challenge him. Again, 27 kills for Lecro. Disco with the boost. Doesn't quite manage to capitalize. You have to be careful when shooting at Valde through walls. He doesn't like it. He's very good at shooting back. Oh, this time he doesn't win! Disco's awake, but there's 2 quick trades coming in from Heroic. Nico again over towards long. Now they have the man advantage. 30 seconds left. It has to be A.
Yeah, they're pushing on up towards toilets, but they've got to worry about Nico in their backline, who is going to be coming in. Just trying to sneak his way on through. Sneaky Beaky, like it said, now falls on back. Looking a little bit indecisive as to whether or not he does want to go for this, and looks like he's just going to rejoin the rest of Heroic over towards A. The rotate coming in from Snappy as well. He's going to be hot on their heels out through Connector. They've got to watch out for this because they're going to get bodied in the back, but it doesn't matter as the 3 players on the A site, they combine, they find all 3 frags in a matter of seconds, and that's going to be Heroic taking us through to double overtime, 18-18. And oh, I couldn't get any more intense than this. Who knows? Maybe there's even a third overtime on the horizon. Like I said, I mean, I still think GODSENT need to win out all 3 rounds on their CT side if they want to secure this. I don't see them picking up more than 1 on their T side, and that's sad to say, but I just feel like when we saw them play in the first half, they looked so devoid of life on that T side. It didn't seem to be too threatening aside from the initial 5 rounds they picked up on the back of the pistol. Other than that, in the rifle rounds, we saw them get 2, so it's either going to require some expert marksmanship and some great individual plays, or they're going to need to pick up all 3 on their CT side, which they were a hell of a lot stronger on.
Yeah, more importantly, though, did you know, Harry, that if you want to watch this game back, in the description below, you can actually find our YouTube channel. So obviously, That is good. SLTV. I'm not a sellout, by the way. Don't you dare type that in chat. But yeah, you can actually watch this game again. Every single game that will be played on this channel will be on the YouTube channel as well. Plus some behind-the-scenes stuff from the LAN, which is coming up. And you can actually buy tickets to right now.
I feel like Starladder have told you to start plugging the YouTube channel more,
No.
right? Because, well, anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
One thing that is going to need plugging sooner rather than later is the holes in the T-side strategy of GODSENT, as they have been struggling a little bit over on their T-side. Their CT side been anything but, as they have been able to find themselves with a nice round difference every single time they switch things up onto that CT side. We're going to see Heroic this time, starting things off on their CT side. GODSENT need to have a strong start here. I think if they do manage to pick up 2 rounds on their T side, then they've got this in the bag. But the other thing you got to bear in mind is there's a lot of experience on a couple of players on the GODSENT side, but then they've also got some new talent mixed in. Heroic, meanwhile, they're coming, you know, fresh out the back of IEM. The fatigue and kind of the experience that these guys are used to having to play against to deal with, I feel like if this goes long haul, then they're going to be in a better place. But already this aggression up towards long. Nico's just finding time, and he lets them cross. Now going out for the peak, but Schneider is watching the angle, and he says you can try and be sneaky. But I assure you, I hear all. Down goes Nico, the man advantage early on here for GODSENT. A great start to this first round of the second overtime.
Now we have to see how the response comes in. This first pick has been so pivotal throughout the previous rounds, and well, we saw Heroic getting the majority of them in the previous overtime, so whether they can actually capitalize off being a man down is another thing altogether. Yugi still playing very aggressively, hoping that somebody will make the mistake of walking into his crosshair, but it's actually going to be him going for the peak, aggressive, and actually Pronax is caught with a nade in his hand. There's no chance for him to trade that frag. Molotov going to go down. See, evening things back up, but Pronax will get one. Completely blind this Yugi. Pronax gets 2, and now they have the advantage. They have themselves the site, other than Snappy, who gets 1 as well.
Yeah, Snappy's still alive and kicking. Just got to buy time for the rotate to come in from Valdi, who is coming in from that B site. He does fall, but he bought enough time for Snappy to make his way up towards Bank. Not Snappy, Valdi, sorry. In towards Bank, who now finds himself 1v2, trying to deny the plant. Does tag down Doppelin a little bit. Only has 6 bullets left. Hello? What was that? I was just watching him, observing him through the smoke. Your name is not Michael Myers. And now, Twist and Valdi one-on-one. Twist goes in with the peak, and that's going to be GODSENT to pick up this first round. Albeit by the skin of their teeth, but it's a round nonetheless. And I mean, quite critically, right? If they pick this one up, the economy for Heroic is going to be bottomed out. And if they get 3 on their T side, GODSENT should just be able to walk away with this one.
But this is crunch time now, because GODSENT have struggled over on their T side, so if they can get themselves a couple of rounds, start like they did at the very beginning of the game, then maybe they can actually take this one over the line here and now. Obviously, there's still going to be the other side of things, and it has happened many a time where the sidedness of overtime has changed rapidly when a team gets put up against the wall. That is where we see the very best from them. Lekka have got to be careful standing near that plywood. We know that many a player have actually died through that very wood. It's probably blood splattered. Maybe it was even white when they started. But we're going to have to wait down to minute 15, and there we go. This time it is Heroic to get the first pick. They're going to go aggressive. Have to be careful, but they actually win all of the duels. Only a trade onto Valde. They have a 2-man advantage, and now the push is going to come back in. Twist and Disco to try and save this round. Lovely shot!
Oh my god!
Disco gets 1. Twist actually trading it out, and now somehow back to a 2v2.
In the blink of an eye, GODSENT might have just pulled this round out from nowhere. Yugi and Nico, the 2 players that we often see retaking this B bomb site, trying to pull through. The pressure is going to be immense. The eyes of both their fans and their teammates burning into their backs right now, and that weight might be too much to bear as the retake comes on through. Nico is going to fall. Yugi's last alive. He finds the trade frag out on a Doppelin, but now he's got to contend with Twist. It's AWP on AWP. Clash of the Titans, the 2 top fraggers. Locked into a one-on-one. Yugi trading out the AWP in favor of the M4. Goes out wide for the peek. Now Twist misses the shot. The Molotov going to come in. He tries to stick the defuse. Twist goes out aggressive. He finds the frag.
2 rounds in a row.
Pick up their 20th.
That was, he's
now the
literally
money-
just gone carbon copy from the other side. Like, okay, you're going to Molotov me out. I'm going to run out and kill you. He's done it 2 rounds in a row. Come on. What is that from Twist?
The money now for Heroic is not going to be looking good. This could be GODSENT to pick up all 3. They know the money's going to be low. It's just UMPs and a plethora of pistols for them to play around with. A little bit of utility as well, but ultimately not as much as they would like, nor as much as they've had previously. And while Nico's taken the aggressive angle with this CZ, but he's been done this time and time again, and every single time they have checked it and spotted him, and Twist is just homing in on the angle, watching to see if he can find a slither of the Danish player just peeking on out around the corner. You can see he wants to try and go in for this peek. Nico just popping out like a game of whack-a-mole here. They don't know he's here just yet, as all the peeks have been timed perfectly. Twist. It's going to be the player to peek. If Nico can find this first, it's a good start. Finds that first frag, but doesn't elect to fall on back. Instead, just maintains this position. He's not allowing him to try and grab mid-control just yet. Does find some good damage. Now fades away. Pop flash comes on through. Going to continue the aggression. How's this working? Gets himself a second frag. Finally traded out by Schneider. But still, man advantage going the way of Heroic. They've been able to do a lot of work already with only Nico and his pistol. Can the remaining 4 players for Heroic pick this up?
Yeah, they need to get themselves at least around. You don't want to be having to get all 3 over on that T side, especially the way this game has been going so far. Definitely wouldn't be the way they want things to go down. Now, Pronex is going to try and play an entry fragger roll over towards this A side. The bomb just waiting back, but they've only got 30 seconds to play with. They've got to make a quick decision, and it's looking like it is going to be A. Pronex making his way forward. There's 2 players currently on the side. They're just using utility to hold him back. They're down to the last 20 seconds of this round as the utility's being expended by the T side, just hoping that they can get the bomb down in the smoke. Now, this hasn't worked previously. There's now 3 players on the site, but it will be Schneider to get the first. Bounty trading out, and they will win a round, and it will be that 3rd.
Oh, this has been a roller coaster of emotions, Tom. It has been a roller coaster indeed. Heroic, seemingly from nowhere, picked themselves up 1 round in that first half of overtime. Now they have to try and get 2 to take us through to the oh baby, a triple of overtimes, as GODSENT find themselves extremely close from edging this one out. They only need to pick up 2 rounds here on their CT side.
I genuinely don't even know where this is going to go anymore. GODSENT needing 2. They managed it last time, but it doesn't mean jack.
Yeah, and already we are going to be seeing Yugi and the boys making their way out through mid. Sounds like the name of a band. As now they grab control of Long and Park, and while no one's going to be here early on from GODSENT to challenge, I've got Twist watching it with the AWP. One key difference to notice between these 2 teams is the double AWP setup that GODSENT in play, Heroic can never try and match. Now, whether that's on their CT side or their T side, they just opt to have only Yugi on the AWP, and I feel like on their T side, it definitely benefits them in terms of making them that much more mobile. Mobile? When did I become American? Mobile on their T sides, then, well, making their way out through Park, taking things very slowly, waiting with bated breath.
They're going to be trying to find something through the smoke, but the first kill comes in. It goes one way, and there's the second as well. Double man advantage over to the Swedes. Now, well, how are the T-side going to react? Modi is going to be trying to take control of water. There is still a player close, and he has to be a little bit careful. Necro in the corner, but he'll win the duel. Just about. Bringing things back a little bit closer. There's still going to be presence from Twist with this AWP over towards Monster. So they're not clear yet, and they only have 35 seconds. This is a long rotation for the bomb to go down all the way back, and if Twist is able to even find 1 or drop that bomb, this round is probably going to be done and dusted. Yugi is going to be the one looking to try and take this pick. It will just be him standing in the corner. The rotation already coming in, and that's leaving it down to 20 seconds. The bomb has been dropped. They've spotted it. This is going to be the rotation from the T side, leaving them with very little time to make any sort of play. Flashbang will leave Twist behind, but Pronex is there to support. Valde eventually trading 1 out. He's only got 9 seconds to play with. He's just going to fall back, save the AWP, and it's not even going to happen. Doppler holding the cross.
Yeah, the only way he could have possibly clutched that right now would have been if he pulled a Kukli, which, you know, for those who don't get
that would have worked.
Okay,
if
well,
it was
anyway.
spin botting, then maybe that might work.
19 to 21, GODSENT 1 round away from edging this out, and It's been an emotional roller coaster. Heroic looking to try and cling on to this. Have to pick up 2 more rounds on their T side. And it's going to be aggression. The order of the day from GODSENT. 2 players down and in towards connector. Pronax here will be able to survive out that Molotov. The crossfire set up as well with Schneider. The push looking like it's going to be making its way in towards B. They do have Snappy trying to grab connector control so they can rotate freely and quickly and deny the quick rotate from GODSENT. But it doesn't look like B is just going to be the order of the day. And right now, this is the weakest we've seen B look. Only Lecro here. Very easy to remedy this affliction as they make their way on through. Pronax and Schneider have a lot to try and answer for by catching these players rotating into the site, but they're going to be too late. Lecro will find one, but he needs to make more happen, and he's going to fall. Now it's a 4-on-4, and this is a great round shaping up here for Heroic as GODSENT locked out of the site already. Pop Flash comes through, but Pronax goes down, biting the dust as a result of Yugi and Schneider having to watch the flank. It's a 3-on-4. Double orb set up for GODSENT means their mobility heading in towards this site is going to be very hampered, and Yugi finds himself a second as well to put yet another nail in the coffin into this round. GODSENT now, Twist and Doppelin. The double AWP duo making their way on through. Trades out the AWP for the AK, but Doppelin will fall as a result. Twist to try and refrag. Doesn't like the fact that his AWPing brother just goes down, but will fall at the hands of Nico. That's Heroic to pick up their 20th. And now 1 round away from triple overtime.
Yeah, it is looking like we are heading in that direction as well. The single AWP going to be employed this time from GODSENT as they didn't save one from the previous round. And, well, the 2 AWPers in this game at the moment have been Twisted Disco, and both of them top fragging at the moment for their team. 33 and 32 kills. Yugi and Valde in similar fashion on the other side of the board. They're just going to go aggressively in. Nice start from Schneider, doing damage with the nades. There's actually 3 players early on over towards this B side. Seems like Heroic trying to switch up the pace. And this time, they're actually going to fall back. I like that. Not going to just risk pushing in, gathering up together, and just throwing that round away. They're going to fall away and have another go at it later in the round.
Yeah, they do leave Snappy, who for the time being is being circled by GODSENT like moths to a flame. They know that he's around here. Twist gonna get boosted on up, and Snappy looking to try and maybe replicate some of Valdi's success, saying that Valdi actually able to find Doppelin elsewhere. He's gonna go down, and actually Snappy gonna capitalize on his positioning. Pronax goes down, and now suddenly GODSENT looking a little bit confused. They rotate everyone up towards A. Suddenly they lose Pronax, and Lecros to rotate back down over towards B, and this looks like Heroic could be picking up yet another round, which would mean yet another overtime. Valdi gonna find himself a second. It's all on Lecro and Twist. 2v5, bomb stacking up over here towards B. Twist is alone up on A, and he misses the shot. Valdi finds the third. Now it's all on Lecro, and through the smoke, Snappy connects that shot. 21-21. Overtime number 3 incoming. Get your pacemakers ready, boys, because we're not done yet.
How is this still going? That round, like, I genuinely believe if they had tried to force the issue on B, Heroic would have lost that round. No doubt in my mind. The setup was so good for that B hit, but just by fading away, dragging them back, GODSENT had absolutely no idea what was going on. They were so ready for that B hit. 3 players sat there, 4th rotating in through heaven, just like, okay, they push in, we destroy them. The nades were doing damage, they were held back, and then Heroic just go, do you know what? We're just going to leave. And they held all the rotation spots. GODSENT had to look for information, and they shut them down one by one. Every single player surviving. And well, what more do you want? What more do you want? 21-21. Still the potential for a 3rd map lays on the cards.
Still the potential for a 4th overtime, Tom.
Yeah,
You forgot about that. I mean, well, let's see. Let's see how this does turn up. As Heroic look to have new set of wind in their sails as they head on forth into their T-side adventure in the 3rd overtime, the first half of the 3rd overtime. We've played, what does this mean? Like 43 rounds of Counter-Strike now? This is our 43rd, so yeah, that's a lot of CS. But there's no such thing as enough as we continue into this. Heroic making their way out through mid. They haven't found anything early on. Disco Doppelin towards long rallies a shot down range, but does have to fall on back. Doesn't want to risk re-peeking against Yugi, who has been on point with that AWP on the T side. Instead, he actually just falls on back passively over towards the A site. You can see that there's a little bit of aggression coming out from Twist, who is playing the closer out of the double AWP setup, right up by Toilet. Spots out that first. Down goes Valdi. Now the refrag has to come through, but Twist says no. And then all of a sudden, it's a man advantage heavily secured by GODSENT. Doppelin as well, chiming in with one with an AWP of his own. Snappy coming round, trying to mop up Twist, who's done enough damage to his ranks. Has to pick this up. Down goes Twist at least, but there's still Schneider and Doppelin on the A side. Modi trying to make some presence known down towards B, but he falls at the hands of Pronax in the blink of an eye. It's all on Snappy. And Lekro spots him out through the wall, does some damage, but it's Pronax to make his way down short. He didn't know he was there. Somehow goes to the AK. Oh no, he was running and he gets the head anyway. Just Pronax things.
I love it. Just keep jumping and knifing. It was almost just intimidating. That was a victory dance for that round. But GODSENT to start. Obviously, we spoke about them needing 3. I don't even know how many they need here, because they managed to get 2 on the other side of things and still not managed to get 2 on the CT side last time. It's all up in the air. It's just a straight up brawl of Counter-Strike at the moment. And now we're going to see this push back towards B by the looks of things from this T side. Very aggressive. Yugi takes down Doppler. Prodex is going to be up close and personal. He gets 1, but quickly traded. Lekro, we're going to need some Heroic once again if you're going to shut this down. And Yugi is there to trade once more. Now it's down to the rotating players, Schneider and Twist versus 3.
Yeah, they're making their way onto it. I have to check so many angles, though. They don't know if Heroic have opted to go aggressive just yet, and this leaves a lot on both Twist and Schneider. Schneider just walks on out, doesn't even check behind the door, but luckily enough, no one was there, so they'll be making their way in from Graffiti. They might even try to employ a bit of a boost over the top to try and spot out one of these players, but instead, just going to go aggressive. Schneider's on the site, Twist to reinforce from afar. Going to leave a lot of work up to Schneider, though. Twist now going to force the issue, will fall at the hands of Modi. Schneider able to get 1. The Molotov burns out Modi from position, but he still does the damage, and down goes Schneider. Heroic pick up their 22nd. And well, now we're going to be heading into the last round of the first half of the 3rd overtime. What a mouthful that is. Whoever wins this will be heading into the next with a 1-round advantage, and I think if Heroic pick this up, it could very easily go their way, and we'll be moving on to a 3rd map. GODSENT have been struggling on their T side substantially, and only having this 1 round and then having the 2nd taken off of them is something that we haven't seen them have to deal with just yet.
We have to wait and see. Valde already getting tagged down low. Caught by one of those AWPs, and he has been integral in this matchup so far. 34 kills. The only man leading him, on his team at least, is going to be Yugi. On the other side, Twist. 35 frags of his own, and who knows where that number's going to stop at this stage of the game. We are going to see a slow push from Modi, just waiting around Monster. And the rest of the team are beginning to rotate over. Now, they've had a lot of good luck, I suppose, or just good fortune over on this B site. Something they've been able to take freely the majority of the time. But there are going to be quite a few players ready and waiting for them in this scenario, and well, with the push coming in, 55 seconds left, nothing being spotted over towards A. It looks like we're already going to see a rotation coming out from Lekro, who was switched in over towards this A side, at least playing a little bit more passively so that he can rotate. 45 seconds left on the clock. Again, there's still 3 players over towards this B site as the smokes begin to be thrown in.
Yeah, utility raining on in. Doppelin to try and hold this off. Has to go huge here, and he's going to get pump flashed on out. Has to just fade away. There's still 2 players to try and remedy, but Pronak's going to go down off the bat, and then Schneider falls as well. Modi and Nico making quick work of these players on the side. And Modi's going to find a 2nd, finally put down by Lekro, who finds himself a 2nd and a 3rd. Lekro, what are you doing? This is CS. And there we go. He will finally be dealt with, but now it's Twist 1v2, who peeks out wide, but Valde says no. 23-22, Heroic. They finished their T side with 2 rounds, something that we haven't seen them do yet. GODSENT have to try and pick things up on their T side half, or else they're going to be in big trouble. They haven't managed to get more than 1 round on their T side just yet, so at this point, it's looking like Heroic could run away with this.
If this goes any longer, they may even end up playing 4 maps of Counter-Strike, because this is starting to get into that 60-round battle. 23-22. 2 rounds coming in on the T side for Heroic, so now all they have to do is convert on their CT side, and I say all they have to do. That seems to be an absolute mountain in this matchup. The Danes finally in the driver's seat, bringing things forward after, well, I suppose they were in the driver's seat in normal time. That seems like quite a long time ago now, and we are going to be going into the 2nd half of OT3.
I want to see an OT4. I hope we do. I hope we just keep going until
I wet myself.
One of us eventually, yeah, that. Well, anyway, moving on swiftly from that point of view, we are seeing GODSENT looking like they want to go fast in towards B. Now, one thing I will commend Heroic for is their T side has looked just incredibly strong, going from strength to strength throughout each overtime. They definitely became a lot more structured, and we saw the pacing working out in their favor time and time again. GODSENT's T side looking to be a little bit more random, and instead, well, rounding to be the order of the day as they rush in towards this B site. Only one player to hold this down. That's going to be Valdi, and he does fall at the hands of Doppelin, but they don't account from Snappy, who is on short. Rallies some shots downwind, and they still don't know he's here just yet. The silenced M4 clearly going to be paying off for him. And look at this, the Kongs line of Danes making their way in through over towards Graffiti. Snappy able to find Pronax, but they're going to be boosting up over towards Heaven. Nico shuts down the boost by finding both of those frags, though. The leading tower of Swedes turning into the leading tower of death, as now it's all on twist. 1v3, playing it around the pillar. They say no, they shut him out. And that is going to be Heroic arriving at their 24th round. One round away from closing this out, Tom.
Yeah, we're back to that old scenario. Heroic have got themselves back to map point. Obviously, we saw them, what was it, 15-13 up. Same sort of scenario here. A few crazy clutch rounds as GODSENT didn't want to let this map go. Train still sat there waiting for people to come and play it. The T's still have an opportunity to bring this one back, but Nico is denying it. Gets the first kill of the round. Second and a third, looking like it's finally going to be done and dusted. Schneider and Disco to try and save them in this scenario. The push from Schneider will be coming in. Obviously, such a huge advantage. And now he's in a 1 versus 5. It looks like the Danes have finally come back. It's taken them a long, long time to do so. But they will finally take this map. They could have done it 10 rounds ago. But that is it. Done and dusted. And we are heading on to Train.
Yeah, we still have another map coming up, essentially playing 4 entire maps to you guys tonight in this best of 3. This one, of course, does go the way of Heroic 25-22. So that means that Mirage 16-13 in favor of GODSENT, and now Heroic pick up their map choice. Train will be the 3rd map. And thank you to all of you guys for joining us on this roller coaster of emotions. For me, there's still a lot more corkscrew turns, barrel rolls, loop the loops, and other assorted roller coaster themed things coming up very, very shortly. But a quick shout out to you guys in chat for being so fantastic for us all. We got Skill55, Jadeko, Burt and HD, Ellison T_T, Blasters. Actually, that's Blast 3. Jaskua, Raj, Egli Labi Memna, Chilluminati, what a name, Hackization, what is Ward, I'm a carry.
Ebmaster 2K, he said, hey, casters, so.
Hey, dude. James Bob 808 said, casters, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But, yeah, we got much more coming. Nico, how you doing, dude? Thank you for modding the chat. You're a fantastic guy, as is everyone else here. I know you guys all want us to say hello, but my God, it's difficult. Bernard as well, thank you for being the mod here today. I've seen you in here banning a couple of people.
Mr. Lagsy. I'm hoping we won't see any of that in-game, you know, because that would
Marriott
really ruin
3521. Happy birthday. Don't know if it actually is your birthday, but happy birthday. There's no way I can know. Rodders 9. Jazz 5.
If you do think we're nice casters, don't forget you can type !casters in the chat, and that will lead you to a magnificent page where you click follow.
There we go. That's the plug, ladies and gentlemen.
And don't forget the YouTube channel.
we don't really read the chat that much at all, apart from when the game is over. Then we just say hello and thank you to you guys for tuning on in. Hello from Romania, coming in from Pytech K. Well, he's got lots of K's in his name, and then 69 Adacops, and a whole bunch more people. Thank you guys for tuning on in. The roller coaster of emotions will be continuing very, very shortly on Train. 1-1 in the series right now, all to play for as we head into map number 3. And one last hello is going to be the Tempest_800. Much love. Stay tuned for the third.